Hello everyone, it's Sophia Hodgson from Rusty Blue 85 and I'm here with a Halloween card process video for YouTube. And today, October the 24th, I am participating in the Team Tiny Halloween blog hop, YouTube hop. Sorry. So this is my very first video hop, and I've been asked to try and keep the video to about 10 minutes, so apologies, but everything is very, very sped up because I'm desperately trying to keep to time. So here I'm just going through all of my supplies. So I'm using the MFT surprise slider die, and also this MFT stars cutout die fits just perfectly in that little center area that causes the pop-up, so it's perfectly sized, so I decided to use that as it's a Halloween card. And to create a backer for my surprise slider card, I've used the A2 stitched stack dies, and it's the slightly smaller versions of the A2 size. So just cutting this out from white cardstock because it's going to be where I stamp my sentiment in the end. So as I said, all of my colouring and everything in this video is super sped up. What I wanted to go for was a monochromatic card, which is why in all of the supplies I was showing you all of those green cardstocks. I ended up only using one of them, which is the Stampin' Up! Mossy Meadow cardstock. But because I wanted to go monochromatic, I've got all of my green Spectrum Noir markers out. Like these are all of the Spectrum Noir green markers that I own, and I swatched. I don't know if you saw at the bottom of that piece of card, I just swatched all of them out to work out what I could use for all of her clothes and all of the pumpkins and these little potion bottles. So I got brand new tri-blend markers a couple of months back, just when they first came out. I was just kind of like, oh my god, I need to get these. I only got 3 of the tri-blends just to try them out. So I got one in burnt orange, one in this alpine green, and another kind of tealy blue kind of colour. So anyway, Team Tiny is, sorry, Inara is joining me in the video there. If you're new to my channel, I have 2 cats, Mal and Inara, and occasionally they join me on screen. So Team Tiny is a Facebook group for YouTube creators, not just card makers, scrapbookers, mixed media artists who have less than 1,000 subscribers. So the whole point of the Facebook group is that we support each other and our small YouTube channels, because YouTube's algorithms tend to point people to YouTube channels with high viewing time. If you've got very few subscribers, the chances of YouTube actually recommending you to a viewer are very small. So we decided to club together to increase each other's YouTube viewing time and hopefully subscribers as well. And once you get 1,000 subscribers, you graduate to the graduation Facebook group. So you leave the Team Tiny and you move on to the graduation group, which is for people with over 1,000 subscribers. So, you know, kind of that is the aim for all of us. So as I said, this is the Halloween blog hop. If you want to become a member of Team Tiny, just join us on Facebook. There are regular YouTube hops. As I said, the videos, we try and limit them to 10 minutes, just so that because there are 15 of us, or, you know, kind of we limit the sorry, Inara, starring again. We try to limit the number of people in a YouTube hop and the duration, just so that people aren't on YouTube for hours and hours and hours on end. You know, kind of the less people there are and the shorter the videos are, the more likely people will do the whole hop. So that's what we're all aiming for. So more about the card. I used this Hello Bluebird Tabitha stamp set and matching dies, and as I said, I was trying to go monochromatic, but I didn't really want a green cat, so I went with the obligatory black cat. And as I've got a black base for my slider mechanism, I figured that I could probably have a black cat. I was toying with whether or not to paint Tabitha's hair green, but in the end I gave her brown hair and I didn't give her green skin because I didn't want to give her, kind of green skin. It just didn't seem right. So I'm trying to keep the caps to the side so that you can see which Spectrum Noir markers I'm using. Certainly here for her dress, I was using the JG3 and the JG7, and I'm just trying to do that for her little hair ties as well. So just colouring in her skin and her hair. And I don't know if you've seen those adorable green pumpkins. I live in the UK in Surrey, and there's a garden that's owned by the Royal Horticultural Society called Wisley, and they had a display of pumpkins recently, and they had lots of lovely green pumpkins. So I felt that I could definitely, kind of veer away from the usual orange pumpkin and get in some green. So the pumpkins and all of her little potions and her dress, everything is green. So that's kind of trying to feed into the monochromatic colour scheme that I was going for. And as I said, I'm just colouring in her hair brown now. And I'm sorry that this is really sped up, but I really just needed to get it as short as I possibly could. I am not an amazing alcohol marker colorist. I still think that my colouring is incredibly basic. So I'm using 3 colours here to try and get a depth of colour for her hair. But in terms of light sources and shading, I'm not very good. I just tend to kind of think, if she's got the cat over her arm, then, kind of create a shadow underneath her arm because the cat would cast a shadow. And obviously the brim of the hat would cast shadows. So, I look more for where would shadows be cast rather than identifying a specific light source. So in order for the pop-up mechanism to work, there's a little notch in the original die, but my backing piece didn't have a notch. And the backing piece and the front actual mechanism are so... they're so close together that it makes it very difficult to actually grab hold of the pull mechanism. So I just cut a little notch out using my MFT dies, just to get that notch cut out for the pull tab mechanism. And I'm just attaching the little pull tab mechanism. That's also cut out with another die from the MFT set. So that's just your pull that will reveal the sentiment that's stamped on the back. So I'm just using the MFT pull tab sentiments to stamp pull on there so that the recipient knows to pull it. So I cut another one of the kind of slider mechanism die cuts purely so that I could pop up the mechanism a little bit so that when you would hear it, the pull tab is able to slide ever so slightly easier. Just cut out, so gut the middle bit. And obviously, before you would hear it, just check that the slider mechanism can move freely between the little cutout bits. But then you can adhere that, and it's the same height as the pull tab. And then when you adhere it to the backer piece, it just means that it's able to move that little bit more freely. And just having that extra little bit of dimension really, really helps. So I wish that I'd been able to... Sorry, the cat's just headbutted me. Oh, the joys of voiceovers. I would have liked to die cut the backer from black cardstock because you can see a little white rim around the edges. However, because it was going to have my sentiment that I reveal stamped on it, I didn't want it to be black. I wanted it to be white so that you could read the sentiment and so that you could see this when the mechanism is flattened, you can see the stars that I've die cut out of that little pull tab mechanism. So I'm just adhering everything onto the card now. So little Tabitha with her green broom. and some pumpkins and potion bottles. I did not use all of the ones that I stamped. I stamped quite a few, but ended up not using all of them. So essentially that is my mechanism done, and you can read the sentiment. And I'm just using some Paper Mania neon gems. They go really well with my monochromatic green colour scheme. And they could be little bubbles coming off the potions that Tabitha's made. So that is essentially my card done. So I'm just adhering it down to some more Stampin' Up! Mossy Meadow cardstock. I've made an A2 card, which is 5.5 by 4.25 inches. I won't lie, we never did inches at school, so I'm a little bit lost when it comes to inches. I learnt in centimeters. So I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board to generate a custom made envelope out of some Mossy Meadow card. And I won't lie, I think it got the dimensions kind of wrong, but the card still fits, so I'm just going to accept the fact that it's taller than I was expecting it to be, and it's struggling a little bit with the bulk, so had to adhere all of the envelope flaps whilst the card was in there just to make sure it fitted. But here is my Halloween card and matching envelope for the Team Tiny YouTube hop. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the little bell icon so that you get updated whenever I upload anything new. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.